Thank you for joining me for Reverent Readings tonight. It is so good to have you here. I am so excited for tonight. Tonight is the 30th episode of Reverent Readings. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's been 30 episodes already. Oh my goodness. Anyways, it is so good to have you all here. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and get started by saying that this series is sponsored by Amazon Prime. There is a link in the description to get a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime, so please check it out. Sign up for a free 30-day trial when you click through that link. And by signing up through that special link, you are also supporting this channel and this series, so go check it out. Also, there is a link down there for my Facebook page, so go on there and like my Facebook page. I post updates, nightly reminders about Reverent Readings, and if something comes up and I have to cancel, I post that on there as well, so that you guys can stay up to date and know what's going on, and just anything else that is going on, I post that on there as well, so go check that out. Also, there's a link down there for my blog. Please go check that out. It would be so great. So I think that's about it, guys. And, oh, just one more thing. Please stay after the reading. We can discuss the devotional. I always invite you to chat with me using the chat box on the right-hand side of the screen. And if you think of something you would like to add during the reading, feel free to do so, and I'll see it when I'm done. But I get that live, so we can discuss it right here on the show. Just any thoughts that you guys have, any stories, maybe something that you can relate to about tonight's devotional. So please use that chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. And if you're not watching live, please leave whatever you'd like to say in the comment section down below. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And tonight's devotional is called Angels in the Snow. And the Bible verse says, "Praise the Lord from the heavens. Praise him from the skies. Praise him, all his angels. Praise him, sun and moon. Praise him, all you twinkling stars. Praise him, skies above. Let every created thing give praise to the Lord, for he issued his command, and they came into being." Psalm 148, 1-5. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. For those of you who perhaps haven't been here before, the devotional book I am reading from is called Horse Tales from Heaven, and it's by Rebecca Ondav. Rebecca worked at a sort of a dude ranch in Montana on pack trips, and she was a cook on hunting trips, so she would sometimes be out in the wilderness for months on end without leaving. So she has some very interesting stories, and I have enjoyed very much reading it to you guys. So, on to the devotional, Angels in the Snow. Sunlight streamed into the tent. I squinted at my alarm clock. Only 8:30. I'd only been asleep an hour. I groaned and rolled on my side. The steam from my breath floated in the air. It had snowed a few inches last night, and the brilliant sunlight glistened off the snow. It was like I had floodlights inside the tent. I jumped out of bed, grabbed a log, and threw it into the wood stove. Hopping back into bed, I pulled my red sleeping bag over my head to block the light. I've got to get some sleep. But in a few minutes, the air under my sleeping bag grew stale, and I thought I was going to suffocate. I ripped the sleeping bag away from my face and tightly closed my eyes. I couldn't block out the light. The light had flipped my brain cells to on. Like a computer, my thoughts chugged through my daily routine. I sighed. Well, might as well get up. Another day of endless work, just like yesterday. Like a zombie, I dressed and trudged through the snow to the cook tent. The black enamelware coffee pot simmered on the wood stove. Maybe a little go juice will wake me up. Grabbing my blue mug, I poured. The coffee was thick enough to float a horseshoe. I sat at the table and stared at the spiral notebook. Every day my chore list was at least a page long. I was the cook for this hunting tent camp. Late season hunts were easy because the days were short, but this was September, with long hours of daylight. Because the best hunting was done at dawn and dusk, I slept in split shifts. My alarm would beep at 3 o'clock so I could cook breakfast and send the hunters out the door before dawn. At 7:30, after cleaning up dishes, I'd crawl back into my sleeping bag for another 3 hours of sleep. Once I awoke, I religiously stuck to my routine. In the evening, everybody rode back into camp packing an enormous appetite. Oftentimes, I didn't dry the last dish from dinner until 10. Then I'd plod down to the creek holding a flashlight, fill the water buckets and lug them up to the cook tent, and set the kitchen for breakfast. I was lucky if I crawled into my sleeping bag before 11. I glanced at the list. Chop kindling, fuel lanterns, sweep guest tents, make fresh bread, bake pecan pies, and brush czar. After shrugging into my wool jacket, I walked over to my woodpile, grabbed the axe, and chopped a pile of kindling. My back bowed as I carried heavy armloads of split wood and kindling to each guest tent and filled up the wood boxes in the cook tent. Sweeping out the tents, I efficiently gathered the gas lanterns and took them to the workbench to refuel them. Robotically, I trudged through the snow to the corral to collect the lanterns from the tack shed and to brush czar. Grabbing a blue plastic curry comb, I pulled a halter off a hook. The wooden corral gate groaned as I slipped through. Czar lay basking in the warm sun that glinted off his reddish-brown coat. Fresh, fluffy flakes of snow lay around him. Only his ears twitched and his eyes rolled as he watched me approach. I giggled. Time to get up, you sleepyhead. Czar stretched his legs and curled them toward his belly, sweeping the snow aside. I laughed. It reminded me of when I was a child. I'd lay flat on my back in the snow and sweep my arms and legs in a jumping jack motion. When I stood up, the imprint in the snow looked like an angel. Czar lazily rolled onto his back and wiggled. Then he flopped onto his side. It was almost as if he was purposely making a snow angel. He curled his legs underneath him, heaved to his feet, and shook off clumps of snow. With delight, I admired the horse angel. When Czar had flopped on his side, the imprint from his front legs smacking the ground almost looked like a trumpet. It appeared that the horse angel was blowing it. Momentarily, I forgot my routine. The snow around me glittered in the sunlight like a sea of diamonds. Each flake shimmered multicolored rays of light, blues, greens, gold, and reds. I glanced around the pasture where all the horses had lain in the snow. Horse angels were everywhere, and they were all blowing trumpets. I could almost hear the regal notes. It was as if the angels were celebrating God's beauty of freshly fallen September snow. I'd been so absorbed in my get-it-done routine that I'd almost missed it. Heaps of snowflakes stood on the wooden fence rails. A squirrel sitting in a tree above me scolded. His tail switched with every chirp, knocking piles of snow from the pine needles onto my head. I laughed and brushed it out of my hair. I inhaled a deep breath of crisp air. On all sides of me, the blue sky outlined glistening, snow-covered peaks. How many times have I walked in and out of the cook tent, doing chores, and never noticed any of this? It's been here all along. I slipped the halter on Sar and gazed at the mountains while I brushed him. After putting him back in the corral, I gathered the lanterns. As I walked toward the cook tent, I admired the way the snow clung to every twig on the bushes and the long stems of grass. Lord, you sure went all out when you created this world. Thank you. Every moment I was outside the rest of the day, I gawked at God's creation. With a happy heart, my chores no longer seemed like drudgery. The days flew past, and I even found myself humming as I washed the dishes. Lord, open my eyes to see the beauty you've placed around me, especially when my days seem filled with drudgery. Amen. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's reading. I'm sorry if some of you were having trouble, it looks like. I'm not sure. Everything looked fine on my end, but I'm sorry that you were having troubles. Well, thank you all for watching. If you have anything you'd like to share tonight, please do so using the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. I would love to hear from you guys. Anything you guys would like to add, any thoughts, anything you'd like to share with me tonight about tonight's reading, that would be so wonderful. And if you're not watching live, please do so in the comment section below. I would really love to hear from you guys, hear any thoughts that you had. I'm very glad that you were able to fix it, Nicole, so you could continue watching, even though you got back on close to the end. But thank you very much for watching me, Nicole. You are one of my biggest supporters. It is so good of you to watch every night. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the rest of you who were watching tonight. You just fill my heart with your loyalty to this show, and I can't believe tonight is the 30th episode. Help me celebrate. Give this a like, give this video a thumbs up below, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss when I post videos, and go like my Facebook page so that you stay up to date on that as well, with reminders every night about the reading. And please, please, please tell all your friends. We had 3 people watching tonight. Maybe by 60 episodes we could have 10 people watching each night. That would be amazing. So please tell all your friends to meet us here every weeknight at 9:30 for Reverent Readings. I hope to see you all back here tomorrow night. I hope you all have a great day tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed tonight's reading. And if you did, just please tell all your friends. The link is the same every night for the live stream, so just copy it and share it with all of your friends. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all will meet me back here tomorrow at 9:30. Until then, guys, good night.